The affected houses are here in West Miramar. They all have copper pipes and were built around 20 to 25 years ago.
One thing that's just incredible when you think about this storm, Craig and Belkis, it is projected and forecasted to still be a Category 1 hurricane when it crosses north into Arkansas.
All over the place, you are going to find shingles from people's roofs. They are literally scattered now all across Lake Charles.
1, 2, 3. 3 of those cars did not stop, even though the pedestrian crossing light is flashing. For loggerheads, the ideal temperature of a nest under the sand is 85 degrees. If it's lower, it's likely there's going to be more male hatchlings. Imagine the worst high tide flooding you have seen in your neighborhood. Now, let's fast forward to about 15 years from now. Add 2 inches of floodwater. That's how much higher the tides could get at times with the additional pull from the moon. Homeowners in some neighborhoods in northwest Miami-Dade and Miami Lakes have put up with blasting at nearby quarries for years. But Miami Lakes Mayor Manny Sid says the complaints are escalating. Every dog in the program comes from the Humane Society of Broward County. And you can see Lena was chosen because she is as sweet as can be. We promise to dig even deeper to find stories that impact you and to find answers and solutions when you have questions and problems. Now, it's pretty shocking to see an apartment building look like this, but it's even more shocking when you find out that this building is owned by the mayor of Surfside.
We came here, they said they were going to fix it. They came once, laid down this blue tape, and then never came again.
Okay, so you moved in here 2 years ago?
Yeah.
For 2 years, Leo Catani has stared at his second-floor balcony, which he cannot use. From inside his unit, you can see the balcony is blocked off. From the outside, you can clearly see why.
So you're paying $1,500 a month for this balcony?
For a broken balcony, and not to mention the elevator, too.
Does the elevator work?
No, hasn't worked in a while.
Ramiro Picos lives on the 4th floor. He says the elevator has been broken for months. So every day, he takes the stairs. And thanks to this video he shared with us, you can see what an unpleasant experience the climb up and down can be when it rains.
There's frustration for sure.
Inside Ramiro's unit, he showed us this hole in the ceiling of his son's bedroom.
And every time it rains, you know, I have to put the bucket right here.
Ramiro and Leo live in the Lois, a Miami Beach apartment building owned by Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett. How can the people of Surfside know that you're going to lead the town at a time when so many people have questions about their own building, when you own a building that looks like that?
Well, listen, when you say looks like that, you know, that kind of is a mischaracterization, because the bottom line is that damage needs to be fixed. But it doesn't get fixed until you have permits.
Mayor Burkett says Hurricane Irma knocked over this tree in 2017. It did extensive damage to the building's balconies and elevator. It was 2017. Why does it still look like this today?
Right, because we're waiting for the permits. The city has taken the position that somehow we haven't submitted the plans. But the plans have been submitted over and over. So, you know, there's some confusion there.
When you say there's confusion, is the city of Miami Beach slowing the repair of this building?
I don't think they're slowing it on purpose. I think that they've got...
Is the city of Miami Beach slowing down the repairs of this building?
They're the reason we don't have the permits.
But in a statement to 7 Investigates, Miami Beach says drawings for repairs on the Lois submitted in 2019 were not construction drawings, which is what the Florida Building Code requires for a permit review. And that the city had to refer the Lois to a special magistrate that same year because no action was being taken by the property to make needed repairs.
We went into the special master and said, Mr. Special Master, the reason we're not acting is not because we don't want to, it's because we need to do this, this, and this. And he said, okay, that's fine. Come back in 90 days and give me an update. And that's what we've done since the very beginning.
But just last week, Miami Beach slapped this final notice on the Lois for non-compliance and ordered balcony railings be secured within 24 hours.
So, what this was the building official, felt like it was important to show that they were doing something, and I respect that. I get that.
Mayor Burkett says he is now just waiting on one more permit before he can fix the balconies.
As soon as we get that last permit, which I expect any day now, we will be there working, and I will be the happiest guy in Miami Beach. I promise you.
For those who call the Lois home, the fixes cannot come fast enough.
This is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
As a matter of fact, a couple months ago, in the middle of the pandemic, they raised our rent. They raised it like $100. In the aftermath of the recent building collapse on Collins, I just feel like you should put a little bit more, I don't know, just think a little bit more about this building.
Filled with hundreds of sea turtle hatchlings swimming, floating, and munching away, there is no other lab like this in the world.
When I was like 3 or 4, I wanted a pet dinosaur.
But instead, Jeanette Weineken's mother gave her a pet turtle. A love affair was born that turned into a specific passion for sea turtles.
I mean, they've got flippers. That's just really cool.
Jeanette is now doing groundbreaking research at the Florida Atlantic University Marine Lab in Boca Raton. And what she's uncovering about these sea turtles is startling.
There are fewer and fewer males being produced, so the turtles are telling us a story that's important.
For nearly 2 decades, Jeanette has been recording the ratio of male to female loggerhead turtles hatched at beaches across the state. In 2002, when she started, just 13% of hatchlings were male. In the following years, Jeanette recorded even fewer males. Then, in 2006, not a single male loggerhead hatchling was found.
My first reaction was, oh, that's not good. We need 2 to tango.
More recent data is even more alarming. Jeanette has found male hatchlings in only 2 of the past 6 years.
That's not normal.
Unlike in us humans, the sex of a turtle is determined by temperature. Jeanette refers to the phenomenon as
Hot chicks, cool dudes.
For loggerheads, the ideal temperature of a nest under the sand is 85 degrees. If it's lower, it's likely there's going to be more male hatchlings. If it's higher, it's likely there's going to be more female hatchlings. So Jeanette believes climate change is fueling the gender imbalance.
We have to fix the problem. If it's too hot, it's too hot, and recovering from too hot is really hard.
Jeanette is also finding more female hatchlings in other species, like the Florida green sea turtle.
What happens in Florida drives the trends in sex ratios in all of the Atlantic. Big deal.
So the stakes are high.
The stakes are high.
They're so high, she's training a new generation of biologists to expand on her work.
It's pretty worrisome when you only get females, because how are they supposed to reproduce without any males?
It's these young biologists who may be tasked with saving sea turtles from extinction.
It's a long-term problem. So the problems we're seeing today are going to be manifest 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, as those older males start to die out.
Jeanette says they will still be swimming off our coast in her lifetime, but their future after that is now becoming murky. Kevin Ozebek, 7 News. This Miami backyard is always buzzing with activity. It's also where the woman wearing the Queen Bee shirt feels most at home, because it is her home, along with thousands of her flying friends.
My best description for me would have to be bee advocate.
Melissa Sorokin has always loved rescuing animals. She used to work for Miami-Dade Animal Services and drove dogs across the country to find them new homes. Then, about 6 years ago,
My friend Debbie, she said, Melissa, your name means bee goddess. She's like, yeah, it means honeybee in Greek.
After some initial resistance, a beekeeper was born.
I didn't know bupkis about bees, nothing.
Now, Melissa knows a lot about bees.
And so now I teach beekeeping, like I have apprentices.
After gearing up, all right, suited up, we were ready for our own up-close and personal lesson.
How many times have you been stung in your life, Melissa?
Oh, it's countless.
Whoa.
Pure honey.
Pure honey right there.
This is all honey.
And that's all their food too,
This
isn't
is
it?
their food.
While these may be thousands of stinging little pests to you, these bees are actually vital to keep us alive. About a third of the food we eat is pollinated by bees.
And if bees collapse, then our food collapses.
U.S. beekeepers lost an estimated 39% of their colonies between April of 2021 and 2022. Among the reasons bees are dying, pesticides, climate change, habitat destruction, and disease.
Are we at serious risk of losing bees?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
To do her part, Melissa has built a business removing and relocating bee colonies. She never exterminates them. We were there when she removed a hive from an overhang of this Miami roof. Melissa has been called to come pick up bees from some strange places, like a ceramic donkey in Miami Springs. And speaking of funny,
I did like a 16-second video of this bee letting it rip because she was pooping on top of the hive.
the short video of the bee bathroom break went viral on social media. It has been played more than 31 million times.
This bee pooped all across the world.
But back to more serious business, she leaves us with this.
They serve a massive purpose for us.
I think your love of them is actually contagious, Melissa.
Yes, that's the point I want it to be. I want everyone to get a contagious love for bees.
Well, Melissa, mission accomplished. Kevin Ozebek, 7 News.